Let's talk about Netlist. What's up investors, and welcome back to another video. Netlist is a computer storage device company that has caught the attention of the whole world at the moment, and for good reason. This stock has rocketed up 250% in the past 3 weeks and is up over 1100% since January 1st. And I think this will go much higher than this. To stay up to date on this company and other companies that I cover on the channel, check out the new Facebook group and follow me on Twitter. Links in the description below, check it out. So today we'll be looking at who exactly are Netlist and the market they're in. We will look at some legal issues and latest news. We will look at some analyst ratings and technical charts. Finally, we'll check out the latest financials and I'll give you my conclusion on Netlist. Before we get into the video, it takes a lot of time to do this research, quite literally all weekend. So if you find any value in this video, can I ask you to smash that like button? It literally costs nothing, but it helps me out so much. And it shows me you want to see more update videos on Netlist. I'm aiming to get 200 likes on this video. Help me make it happen. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any new content like this. If you want free money, check out Webull, who are giving away 2 free stocks worth up to $2,000 if you open an account and deposit $100 using my special referral link. Sell the free stocks and buy the stocks you really want. It's basically free money, so check that out in the description below. And if you want to support my channel, check out my Patreon. Are you invested in Netlist, and what is your price target in both the near term and long term? I want to point out that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Now let's get into it. So who are Netlist? Netlist was founded in California in 2000. The company is a leading provider of high-performance SSDs and modular memory subsystems to the world's leading enterprises. Netlist specializes in hybrid memory solutions. The company's patented memory technologies provide superior performance and high density in a cost-efficient solution. From database to enterprise applications, Netlist serves diverse industries that require superior memory performance to empower critical business decisions in today's data-driven environment. Netlist has a long history of being the first to market with disruptive new products, such as the first load-reduced DIMM. Netlist was also the first to bring NAND flash to the memory channel with its in-vault technology. These innovative products built on Netlist's early pioneering work and other off-chip technology advances that result in improved performance and lower costs compared to conventional memory. Now this is an OTC stock, but that was not always the case. Up until 2018, Netlist had been listed on the NASDAQ. At this point, Netlist delisted from the NASDAQ and moved to the OTCQX, as management opted to avoid the dilutive effects of a reverse stock split to lift the company's share price. Their shares had traded below the key $1 threshold since August 17, and so Netlist failed to meet the minimum requirements for maintaining its listing on the NASDAQ. Now you will see here, highlighted in green, Netlist shares had more than doubled after the company won a key advance in its patent infringement case against chip maker SK Hynix. We'll speak more about this in a moment. And if you're looking at this thinking fair play to management for avoiding the dilutive effects of a reverse stock split as stated, then this is a little bit misleading, because only 2 weeks earlier, Netlist shares tumbled on announcement of a share offering. Netlist decided to issue 22 million shares at a price of 45 cents, and disappointed by potential share dilution, investors sent Netlist stock down 41% to 38 cents in morning trade that day. So I think management opted to drop down to the OTCQX because it would have been terrible PR for the company to issue new shares and then announce a reverse split. This is one of the most toxic combinations that any management team can do. Netlist HybriDIMM is the first SCM product to operate on Intel's servers without operating and hardware changes, and the first unified solution that scales memory to terabit storage capacities and accelerates storage to nanosecond memory speeds. Netlist holds a portfolio of patents, many considered to be seminal, in the areas of hybrid memory, storage class memory, and load reduction, amongst others. The strength of Netlist's patent portfolio reflects its many years of research and development and track record of bringing disruptive new products to market. Netlist's strategy is to marry its unique board-level intellectual property with a thorough understanding of semiconductor building blocks and system-level applications to deliver performance, cost, and time to market advantages to OEMs. Their manufacturing and testing facilities are in China, but this is very much a global company with offices across the US, Canada, and Israel. This is not your average OTC company. And we can see that Netlist products here is broken into 3 main categories: enterprise SSD, embedded flash, and memory modules. Their enterprise SSDs and data center SSD, which offer capabilities from 1.6 terabyte up to 3.84 terabyte, have customization capabilities of the SSD firmware for performance, endurance and power, along with capabilities to support thermal and mechanical modifications, provide customers a substantial differentiation in their offerings. Their embedded flash drives include M.2 SSDs, mSATA, Slim SATA, 2.5-inch SSD, compact flash, eUSB, eMMC and secure digital. All of these are top of the range and offer high performance reliability at a cost-effective price. So a minute ago I mentioned that Netlist won a key advance in its patent infringement case against chipmaker SK Hynix. What has arisen from that is that now the companies have entered into a strategic partnership, as we see here. Now this has strategic importance because this is not the only legal infringement that Netlist are currently involved in, and we'll speak more about that in a moment. So April 5th, 2021, Netlist announced that Netlist and SK Hynix have reached an agreement for a patent cross-license covering memory technologies of both companies and an agreement for the supply of SK products and technical cooperation on Netlist's technology. CK Hong, Netlist CEO, said, "We are delighted with the recognition of the value of Netlist's intellectual property and very much look forward to partnering with SK, a global leader in memory and storage technology. The agreements provide SK with access to Netlist's portfolio of US and foreign patents. Netlist will receive a royalty, a cross-license to SK's patent portfolio and supply of SK's memory and storage products. The companies also plan to collaborate on Netlist's HD CXL technology for future commercialization. They have agreed to end all pending matters in the US District Court for the Western District of Texas and the Patent Trial and Appeals Board of the US Patent and Trademark Office." Now this is a pretty big deal. SK are not a small company by any means. As it says here, they are the world's top tier semiconductor supplier offering products for a wide range of distinguished customers globally. The company shares are traded on the Korea Exchange and the global depository shares are listed on the Luxembourg Stock Exchange. This is a company that has a huge market cap and revenues in excess of $35 billion annually, so this partnership is the kind of huge deal that you do not usually see with OTC companies. So is this partnership the reason why Netlist share price went from $170 on April 5th to $3 on April 6th? In part, yes, it had some impact. But is this partnership the reason why Netlist share price has been rising since the end of June to its current price of over $750, gaining over 250% in the past 3 weeks? No, it's not. This is where Google comes into the equation, and this is the reason everybody has begun to start talking about this stock over the past few weeks. The Netlist story really took off in July when the US Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit affirmed the US Patent Trial and Appeals Board decision upholding the validity of Netlist's 912 patent that applies to DDR server memory modules. The decision is final and binding on future cases and represents a resounding win for Netlist. The 912 patent is a seminal patent, an invention so impactful that it creates or shifts the technology space. Since last year, the case has been progressing forward, and today is the day for the joint letter to the court on discovery if the parties did not come to terms. If they could not come to terms, the letter explaining both parties' position on discovery process, no longer than 10 pages, is to be submitted today. Once the letter is submitted, Judge Spiro will decide the discovery process going forward. CA courts favour broad discovery. The judge already told Google they would probably not like the result if he had to decide. Now guys, this is a very interesting article on Microcap Daily. So for anyone who wants to have a read of this, I'm going to put a link in the description. Check it out. It's definitely worth reading. There is so much I could talk about here regarding Google and Netlist. And it's not only Google, there are other cases that are involved in at the moment too. It would take way too long to discuss here, so I plan to make another video very soon. To give you an idea of the amount of information out there, check out this website, SEObythesea.com. Netlist appears in this article 881 times, and it's hundreds of pages long. And there's also this website called Google Cheated Netlist, which is a good read too if anyone wants to look at that. I'll put links to both of these in the description. And a big thank you to both the StockTwits community and the Reddit community for pointing me towards all this information that I've discussed today. We can see here that Netlist is covered by two analysts, both Craig-Hallum Capital and Roth Capital Partners. Looking at tip ranks, we can see that the average price target is $6.25, which is from a high forecast of $10 and a low forecast of $2.50. So currently the average price target here is lower than the current price of $7.55. But when we look at Market Beat, we can see that the buy rating and price target set by Roth Capital was only a few days ago, where they upped their price target from $6 to $10. This is very positive and very encouraging. The Craig-Hallum rating was set in August last year, so it's not at all relevant, and at the time the share price would have been fairly close to this price target anyways. Now let's look at the charts. We can see here that the 1 year chart, Netlist is currently over 900% up. In fact, when we look at the year to date chart, this stock is actually up over 1100% since January 1st. And we can see here it's not uncommon for Netlist to make huge gains very quickly. Here from February 25th until March 3rd, they made over 100% gain, and again on April 5th to April 6th, another 100% gain. And the stock has been moving sideways up until the 24th of June. It is at this point that the stock has really taken off, so let's look closely at this. So looking at the past 3 weeks, we can see that Netlist has been moving in this upward channel, regularly hitting the same line of support and resistance, and each time finding a level of support higher than the previous level, and each time hitting a level of resistance higher than the previous level. I expect Netlist to continue on this trend, and I expect the share price to go above $9 within the next few days. Now, if you follow my channel, you know that I like to discuss the management teams of each company that I analyze. But in order to keep this video from being too long, I'm not going to look at the management team here. But I expect that I'll be doing another video on Netlist very soon. So in that video, we will look deeper into the case with Google, and I will look at the management team then, and also possible uplisting. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button now so that you don't miss out on the update video. And if anyone wants to take a look at the management team now, they are listed on the company's website, and it's a very impressive team and well worth looking at. So let's move on to the financials. There's also some recent news here regarding this. Looking at the balance sheet of Netlist, most recent quarterly report, we can see that the company currently has total assets of $41.8 million compared to total liabilities of $34.6 million for the period ended April 2021. This compares favorably to the January figures of $25.2 million in assets and $27.8 million in liabilities. Of these figures, over $26 million is made up of cash and restricted cash, which is very good to see. And of the liabilities, 11.1 is made up of accounts payable and 17.2 million is long-term debt. Overall, this is a strong balance sheet that will be made stronger by the issuing of new shares, which leads us on to some recent news. But first, let's look at the P&L. You can see that they had sales of $14.8 million and a gross profit of $1.5 million, giving a net loss overall of $4 million. This net loss is significantly higher than the corresponding period last year of $1.5 million. However, it's worth noting here that nearly $2.3 million of the operating expense is for intellectual property legal fees. These would be the legal battles with Google and SK. So if you were to remove these legal costs, the net loss would be much closer to last year's figure. And overall, it's not a huge loss anyways. They have a lot of cash on hand. Then there was this purchase agreement that was entered into with Lincoln Park Capital Fund as recently as July 12th, which includes up to $17.4 million that can be sold to Lincoln Park from time to time over the next 36 months. 80,000 shares valued at $5.98 per share are being issued to Lincoln Park right now, and up to 120,000 additional shares, again valued at $5.98, that can be issued to Lincoln Park on a pro rata basis upon each purchase by Lincoln Park of purchase shares from us under the purchase agreement, up to an aggregate amount of shares for which the total aggregate purchase price paid by Lincoln Park equals to $17.4 million under the purchase agreement. So this is a very clever move by Netlist. This has the potential to provide Netlist with even more cash than they currently have, so the future looks very bright right now. So guys, that brings us to the end of the video. Before I give you my final thoughts on Netlist, if you've watched all the way through, then please hit that like button. And remember, Webull are giving away 2 free stocks if you sign up and deposit $100 using my special referral link. So make sure you do that. Sell those shares and buy the stocks you really want. It's basically free money. And if you're new around here, remember to hit that subscribe button and bell notification. Follow me over on Twitter and join the new Facebook group. All links below. So what do I think? Netlist is a company that I've seen pop up on Facebook groups, Discord, Reddit and StockTwits repeatedly over the last few months. And looking at it now in detail and doing my research, I can see why this became so popular. When I first looked at Netlist, I literally looked at their website for a few minutes and decided this wasn't something I wanted to invest in. I didn't do any research and I knew nothing about their legal battles. I seriously regret not doing that research now. However, now I've spent all weekend looking at this in detail. I think this has a long way to go and it's still relatively early to be getting into this stock. The current share price is $7.55, which gives the company a market capitalization of only around $1.6 billion. Look at the case with Google. The patents that have been infringed are considered seminal, meaning that this was game-changing technology at the time. This is a case that Google thought if they dragged it out for long enough, eventually Netlist would just fold. But this has not happened. More than 10 years this case has been going on and finally it's coming to an end. Finally Google will have to pay out and the payout will be in the billions. Even a payout of only $5 billion could effectively drive the share price up another 200% from what it is right now, given that the current market capitalization is only $1.6 billion. Now I know that's a very basic and not accurate calculation. I just want to make the point that at the current market cap, any payout in the billions will have a hugely significant impact on the share price. As always guys, this is just my opinion. If anyone is thinking about buying this stock, I encourage you to do your own research. And whatever I've left out of this video, if there's something you think I should put in the next video, drop a comment down below. There was literally too much for me to talk about in one video. As I said before, I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Thanks for watching the video. What are your thoughts on the future of Netlist? What is your price target? And how long before Netlist apply to get back onto the NASDAQ? Leave a comment down below and I'll catch you in the next update video.